A new dawn and morn, I thank God for another day, another moment to pray, and another day to hustle and work for a pay. And so to God I pray for guidance all through the day. Lord, I do know that I'm a sinner and that my salvation is Jesus, and so I do believe in Christ in whom I find relief. Only that I can't stand being a servant to Caesar, the very Caesar who fails to grant me of the justice that he owes me, and yet he robs me of the only shilling that I'm holding. And the presage of a cataclysmic catastrophe warns me not to undermine the 0-degree sanity of a mob psychology. And so I owe one apology to the youth if I never come through and speak to you, and to keep you from having to shed blood in the presence of the moon, only to amuse the few rich fools who stand to spew in order to make headlines on the news, the very villains that I do dare go against. And so I pray God for strength if I ever have to face the guillotine, just like Antoine Lavesoir and the other victims of the Jacobinic memoirs. Hell has been the life on earth, and so I pray to be welcome to the kingdom of our Father with arms and with the joy similar to a mother's welcoming the birth of a son. I pray to see the glory of the sun, to hear the ambient sounds of the harps and lyres, the trumpet calls to awaken the righteous. This being the last days, I pray that no brother be waylaid or led astray. In the valley of death I brace myself, walk bold and fearless, because in thine hands, Lord, I do know that I'm safe. And so to God I pray. Yeah. I'm as poor as a church mouse, but even so, no doubt I never fear coming out so as to face the crowd. And so I look to the clouds, because I believe that only God can count down the number of tree boughs that fall down to the ground at a given time. And I believe in word of mouth, and so I speak my clout, dwell in the underground, always underneath the surface, surviving between a rock and a hard surface, with the kind of skills that you can never be able to purchase. And so I gave up the medal chase for the better runners like Rudisha. Kazi yangu naomba kuelimisha, kushika mic kuwakilisha, Eldamando jina on my chest ni Ravina, the finest and the most humble, fist fight being the last resort. I keep off any troubles, because I know that war prevails only where diplomacy fails, and there can never be another bargain. Yeah. They say that you never gain unless you endure some pain. I'll see you. Walisema mambo kangaja, huenda labda yakaja. The rapper mnamuona sasa likiuka desturi na mila ya watu walowajinga na kupenda fitina. Oh, nimesema hope your word imebaki kwa filter, haijafika kwa speaker. In the safe ways I travel, keep off the path of darkness in pursuit of righteousness, hoping that I get to lay my head to rest in a beautiful place in the hidden garden of Eden. Now back to the inn of the sixth happiness. I'm now consulting the wisdom of the Chinese mandarins, and so to speak, I do perform the miraculous labors of the mighty Hercules, and I trace back the path of democracy way back beyond the land of the Helen. And I do believe that the earthly resources would actually surface to feed everybody's need, but not everybody's greed. And that is only but a piece of art from the true descendant of the black-headed ones from the land of Shina, all the way down and south to the land south of Abyssinia. Cause in the midst of the rift lives the underground Ravina. Yeah. I'm the true son of Achilles, and I'm now living a philosophy, hoping that I escape the tragedies arising from my own philosophy. And I don't know for surely if the woman I'll marry will bear the name Sophie, ama maybe atakuwa Mkikuyu by the name Joki, ama maybe akwe Mkalenjin by the name Chepkorir. But I do know for surely that only God is holy, and that rap is my one and only hobby. And so I'm committed wholly to this kind of job. And if you don't know me, please don't you ever call me a homie. A revolution in silence, I point fingers at the government and apportion blame on all the members of parliament for all the wickedness and the violence that have been perpetrated against the innocent ever since the verge of independence, when the hero Dedan Kimathi was betrayed by the first president. And ever since then, the Mau Mau veterans have never been reparated. And so exasperated, my mind is dominated by the thought of revolution, cause there can never be a solution having the new constitution with the same greedy leaders in power. Kavenye mnaona sasa kukwama kwa miswada ndimekuwa ni Kenya sasa. They are the modern day vampires, wanna keep could devour us, increases taxes and making us suffer more. Yeah. and this is how I finish it. Obsurvative. This is no bias, just analysis. No bias, just analysis. No bias, just analysis. Just analysis. Just analysis. Wakilisha. Paukwa pakawa, wenyewe wakaja wakawa pakahawa. Si shumi ni mafala, wanachanganya, hawajui viungo vikizidi kitoweo ladha huenda ikawa ni mbaya. Kukwama kwa miswada ndo imekuwa ni Kenya sasa. Uchumi nao mbana, kuna wakubeba lawama. Ni walafi hao maacha wenzao hawa kwenye pwaa la umaskini. Wameng'oa nanga na mili ya ufisadi, safari yao kuelekea utajiri. Etu chaguzi huru, chague kati ya fisi na chui, na hao wote wawili ni nduli, tofauti yao mimi sijui. Lisilobudi ubidi, mazetu navunia juani na mistari kwa imani, kwa siku takamfanikiwa. Baada ya dhiki ni faraja, kutia bidii kwa kile nachofanya. Obsurv na mwaga mistari mbele ya hadhira, lengwa nikamtama penye kuku wengi. Kwa chile ya mic misiwezi, kwani wito ni wito na itika kuwakilisha. Juu talanta nilipatiwa. Wakilisha. Wakilisha. Na wakilisha. Na wakilisha. No bias, just analysis. The marvelous genesis. Obsurv is what my name is. You can call it activism or political analysis, but the message is love and peace. They prescribe remedy to the prevalent disease of hatred and violence. A letter to the government to establish an act of parliament to provide more talent-based job opportunities for the young people to develop their own talents, cause there's no much space for all of us in the civil service, and yet we all available for service. The problem is the jobs are paying too much less, too less to actually feed a family, and that's why many prefer illegal activities that are paying. And some with militant tendencies like the Mungiki, the kind of snares that scare the young African woman in a dress or a skirt to one, a head covered in a turban. Call it the crime that occurs in the urban. To sum up the suburbs, I mention the name of the place that I represent, and that is Eldama Ravine. Wakilisha. Wakilisha. Na wakilisha. Na wakilisha. If it weren't for the first, the second verse, to call this or that verse wouldn't really fit. Lyrics to the beat, rhythm being a link, like a truss bridge across two opposite cliffs. Word from the desk of the Swahili educationist. Hakuna cha bwerere, sikio si ndewe, na ndege si mwewe. Walakini kumbuka mwewe ni aina ya ndege. Nyuma ni giza ndo maana unaambiwa tazama mbele. Kufaana ni vema kwani leo mimi kesho wewe. Usitie njeve kaa kuna undugu juu angalau tukuwa wawili mazeta stahimili baridi. Nipate mkahawani na burudika na chai angalau kufukuza baridi. Na hiyo ni kabla ya kumaliza. Ball tuliza ka uwanja ushaumaliza. Kabla kufa wengi watashukuru sababu ya mi kuzaliwa. Kuwakilisha. Na wakilisha. Na wakilisha. Na wakilisha. Na wakilisha. Eldama Ravine. Na wakilisha. Eti wajinga ndo wale wao, gavai katimua wenzetu toka kwa ile forest ya Mao. Kwa nia ya kulinda mazingira, hatukuchagua place tulizaliwa, na hatukuchoose ile jina tulipatiwa. Mazetu kahujumiwa na kudhulumiwa kwa minajili ya ukabila. Kaa kura ziliibiwa, ni makosa gani mpiga kura alifanya kudeserve kuuliwa? Chuki imekuwa ni mila, fitini inazua vita, na waso hatia ndo wanaishia kuumia. Mazeni kakumbukia story ya binti anaitwa Elibagiza, mwenye alibakia kwa familia kuelezea kile kilifanyika Rwanda ilipogeuka giza. Badala ya shughuli kawaida, mazeni kujificha, silaha kujitwika. Mazeni saa ya vita, you violate a sister, you then kill a brother. You only draw out tears from the eyes of a mother. Some say that I shouldn't bother, cause mi sikuumia, but waloadhirika mazeni ndugu pia, na uchungu walisikia inaweza kuturudia. Tukiziba masikio mazee tukose kuwasikizia, kwani mcheka kilema leo huza kilema kesho. Tufanye nini ndo tujenge inchi? Mazejo tufanye nini ndo tujenge inchi? Ngele ngele kuma gile gele kuga gile gele giteche etete na net asigo bit kelanda ago bitoni, lakini giteche chamiete ngokweta asigo bit kaliete nemet. And I don't request that the guilty be acquitted, but forgiveness is the first step to the healing of the nation. Then comes reconciliation. Kristo alifundisha kitu inaitwanga compassion, that is love for one another. But look all over, kuna evidence ya zile mablanda si ufanyanga. Cheki picha za wase walimadwa, kilio cha wamadha. Shida yetu si vijana, tutaitatuanga katukianza kupendana, kutreat one another as a brother, na kuwork together towards the building of the nation. Au sio? Tufanye nini ndo tujenge inchi? Mazejo tufanye nini ndo tujenge inchi? Tufanye nini tupendane ndo tujenge inchi? Mazejo tufanye nini tupendane ndo tujenge inchi? Yeah, tupendane. Obsurvative. And I'm signing out. It's the hip-hop moment, you can post all your comments. Reminisce the moment when hip-hop was born into our environment. It's the hip-hop moment. 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 Wanadaya timu wanga dunia yangu, jumu wanga mtu hip-hop damu. Na reminisce the moment, a generation label X ndo ili come up with the concept. Hip-hop kudil na issues, na drugs in the slums, emancipation of the blacks, kushed light in the dark. Zile days ilikuwa lazima ulan kudak, cause the cops keep firing in my environment. Hip-hop ilianza kawa se wakijam out in the parks, freestyle, breakdance na kubit backs. Enzi za sahani za santuri na the boombox. How I shine the click-clack stuff on the radio. Hip-hop is not found on the radio. Voice ya KRS Wando ina echo. Mina represent like Nas back in the day. The culture that you thought was dead is still here with me now again. It's the hip-hop moment. 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 It's the hip-hop moment, you can post all your comments. Reminisce the moment when hip-hop was born into our environment. It's the hip-hop moment. It's the hip-hop moment. It's the hip-hop moment to build in us. It's the hip-hop moment to build in trust. We survived the past, the present now we have, and the future in our own hands. Like the Wu-Tang Clan, it's yours. The world on the palm of your hands, it's yours. Yo, nakumbuka za kina Keishaka, kabla ya waje wakawa mangilima. Habari njema toka kwenye milima, hip-hop kuzinduliwa, nuru kwenye giza. Kina Last Emperor, Onyx, Naughty by Nature na kadhalika. Yo, mina pledge allegiance to God, I swear. But hip-hop is just the line between just and fair. Knowledge of the self, yo, how to excel, to build in your own self and to develop your own talents. Hip-hop! It's the hip-hop moment, you can post all your comments. Reminisce the moment when hip-hop was born into our environment. It's the hip-hop moment.
It's a hip-hop moment.
It's the hip-hop.
It's a hip-hop moment.
It's the
hip-hop moment.
It's a
hip-hop moment.
It's the hip-hop moment. You can post all your comments. Reminisce the moment when hip-hop was born into our environment. In a freestyle sasa observative, no bias, just analysis. This is how I bring it to you. Unakumbuka enzi za kina Das Effects? Yo ya tic-tac, tic-tac. This is a real hip-hop. Yeah. The birth of a concept, a culture yenye ilikuwa exist ever since the 70s up to nowadays. Yeah, we remain underground. Sio ati tunadai kushindana na wasi wako mainstream, because we know exactly what we're doing. Au sio? Shout out to all my men, that is wenyewe. Yeah, all of my fans back in school, the 4 summers, yeah, teardrops, Dennis Josiah Poeta. Au sio? Obsurvative, and I'm signing out with the hip-hop moment. It's the hip-hop moment. You can post all your comments. Reminisce the moment when hip-hop was born into our environment. It's the hip-hop moment. It's the hip-hop moment. It's the hip-hop moment.
Presidents to represent me. I'm out for presidents to represent
Yo.
me. I'm out for presidents to represent
Yo.
me. I'm out for every presidents to represent me.
Whether peace or violence, benevolence, malevolence, the two broad knobs of the equalizer. We used to adjust the degree of ambivalence when trying to find the balance. The louder the siren, then the faster is the ambulance. In the hurry to save the life of a man, the thin line between science and art, the beauty and the man. And it is either we love or we lust. And it's not really about how fast we run, it's just about how we run. And yet we hardly notice that the one who came first could also have come last. It all well, so now you strategize your plans. And please let me ask, is it really a meal we had last, or we just survived that past? The present is what we have, and then the future will come. Then takumbuka jana. Kumaliza inamaanisha ulianza, ndo tufe tulizawa. Ndo wazuri wawe lazima kuna wale wabaya. Pembamba pia panaweza kuwapana. Kufukuzana nao ni kuwapaka na panya. Na jo kasi kupendana, mbona basi kutengana? Ka vidole vimachana, kwa nywele ni kuchana. Dhidi ya baridi unavaa fulana, sichana kwa vulana. Waenga wakanena ameuchala, kumaanisha ati amechana mbuga. Mina kuja na shutuma na hujma kwa wezi wa mali ya umma. Wanalilia serikali kwani wanataraji iwalishe na mali ya umma. Na serikali yenyewe ishati ya pamba sikioni. Halisikii la rais mstaafu Moi, wala hoihoi la msafiri barabarani akielekea Baragoi. Hodi hodi, mungiki mlangoni, ndo hao wanadai kodi. Inabaki tuwashangaa, serikali ni ngapi na ni zipi? Kwa gari tuwajibana mishipi. Usalama safarini ilikuwa ni sheria ya michuki. Machungu misi ya tishu biri, amani ndo kile na ubiri. Si unajua kuponya inchi twahitaji upendo na wala si chuki. Amani hiji ila kwa ncha ya upanga. Ndo maana maneno yangu nimeachia makali, kuyakatakata maovu haya. Iwe ni wizi, ukabila na siasa mbaya. Walo haki na waso haki pia na wagawa. With a double-edged sword, spoken word na wapa tunu, yani a token spoken. The voices of those forgotten, the poets, ndo zina hit back kureclaim our part in existence. It is the art renaissance, the rebirth of poetry. Keep your eyes open and let the word be spoken. Yeah, Obsurvative. Once again, 1, 2. Hapo sawa, hapo sawa. Ngoja kwanza tulize beat kiasi, au sio? Hawaniamini, juu hawanidhamini, na bado hawanidhamini etu juu hawanifahamu aswamini nani. Obsurvative, Eldama Ravine is exactly the place where you find me. Am I hiding something? Actually nothing, I just trust before I breathe my last, and you can feel free to judge. And I leave you with the words of Machiavelli, that only he who is seated in the seat of judgment up in the high places ndo akona every right and reason to judge me. Click clack plow hazisikiki kwa mababi, pengine ni masniper. Salamu za wiper zinatoa maji kwenye windscreen. Angalau ni mtu wa mzambarao, usije ukaudharau. My campaign trail imekuwa ni kuwa mwenyewe, to give strength to the frail, and I promise I won't fail, cause I be the head and never be the tail. And when it's all said and done, mtakuwa zile za hapo sawa, 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 hapo sawa. I'm as dope as the word dope itself, written in bold capital letters. Sote tuko katika ile hali ya kutafuta fedha, kicheko cha kubeza huenda ikamfedhesha mwenza. Ndo maana misi bagui na waeleza tu niko na mtazamo upi. Ni system ya majimbo, a little bit of change, but I'm still the same old same. Ni rare kupata true love affair, in most cases just a fair exchange. Zile za nipe nikupe, mtegemea cha ndugu huenda akawa nikupe. Hizi rhymes nikupe, ningare boots za golden, alafu tuonane mechi stadium itakuwa ni Wembley. Hatuchezi kushinda, tunacheza tu kutimiza, juu trophy tushaishika. Mpiga nduru si unajua usikika, na mwenye kukosa kalaumiwa. Ni wezo wa mua hawaishi kulamiwa, tukaita waheshimiwa. Paparazi kuwapiga picha, kuwafanya ma celebrity, licha ya wananchi nao kulalamika. Mina wika kufikisha ujumbe, na wala si tu kusikika. Hapo sawa, 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 hapo sawa. System ya every man for himself ndo imetufanya si wote tuko always on the self defense. And so I preach peace na work na togetherness. So unajua even the great Lionel Messi ana owe his greatness to the great passes ya alikuwa anapata from Xavier Alonso na Dani Alves. With this I give the fragile glasses the toughness of perspects. Missing goji kuwa perfect, I'm breaking the silence. We make strides when we begin to walk, and we walk when we begin to take the first steps. Ni decision nimemake huu mwaka, missing goji kumalizana na calculus. Transformation ya Laplace, laziness na doubt ndo vitu mina minus. Hard work and focus ndo vipengele mina plus. Ukiadd 1 plus 1 upate bado uko na 0. So unajua kuna something wrong in the very equation. Questions don't raise objection, they only need answers. But politicians wanaogopa such questions cause they don't want correction. A revolution in progress, and I'm trading with caution. Hapo sawa, 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 hapo sawa.
If we stand, we live. Tama tu tamaora. Hapo sawa.
Yenyewe hapo sawa.
Na kweli ni sawa.
Weroni hapo sawa.
Yeah. Whoever said the truth must have been mistaken, like the identity of Christ when he was taken to the courts of Pilate to answer to an offense that he had never committed. Some say that certain books in the Bible were omitted and that they should have been included, but none is willing to accept that the Bible is consistent. Truth is no evidence, but a silent and invisible witness. Everybody wants proof, and that is why the scriptures are written. And I observe that men hardly visit the kitchen, and so men should respect their women. Kitendawili mji nipe, mgala muwe na pia haki mpe. Chakula nipe, nile nisile maze bado sipati shibe. Njaa baada ya masaa kadhaa chakula nije tena nikaitishe. dunia ni nchi kavu, basi binadamu usiulemee. Habari njema niwaletee, nyote mpokee. Maji ya uzima Yesu kanipa nikanywa, nikawa conscious rapper. And the truth is what I always intend to bring you. Some say that there are no absolutes. Evolution in school is what they teach you. Talk of intelligent design, they don't wanna hear you. And yet creation is true, and God is absolute. And the truth too is absolute, but very few are willing to accept the truth. And that observation is true. Mikono kwake, sifu Yesu. Mikono kwake, sifu Yesu. Mikono kwake, sifu Yesu. Mikono kwake, sifu Yesu. Talent finally broken the silence. Salute, I'm a sergeant, a soldier for Christ, with a mission on the mic to bear witness of His greatness, and that is God Almighty. Discipline enough and Christ in my heart ndo imenipa this touch. Thanks to my mom kunibea for 9 months, kunigive birth na kunipeleka mpaka church. A family that prays together ndo ina stay together, and a family built on love ndo ina last forever. Endures in all weather. Kwa Kristo kila binadamu tunafaa kuwapenda bila ya kubagua. Amani na umoja ndo kila tunafaa kuchagua. Kristo aonekane ndani yetu hata kani kwa barua. Dhambi ni uvundo tunafaa kuizibia mapua, lakini mbona tunapumua ama hatujatambua? Christ walimuua, God akamfufua ndo tuweze kupata another chance in this life, au sio? Mikono kwake, sifu Yesu. Mikono kwake, sifu Yesu. Mikono kwake, sifu Yesu. Mikono kwake, sifu Yesu.
Mikono kwake ye peke yake. He is the light, the truth and the way. You don't have to pay for you to get saved. Just His name. Umeokoka, just His name. Umepona, His side of life. Kila kitu so sweet. His side of life, that is full of life. Whenever you fall, He lifts you up. Ukipotea njiani, He recalls you back. Tumshukuru yeye kwa matendo yake, tumsifu yeye kwa upendo wake. Neno lake latupa raha, neno lake latupa amani. Sina wasi maishani, because I know I'm the son of the King. Whatever the devil does, I know I'm protected by the love of the King.
Mikono kwake, sifu Yesu. Mikono kwake,